Every king in the world is watching you right now, and you don't wait for anyone's permission. You build an empire that will unite East and West. You become a living god before you even have your first gray hair, and you die without ever enjoying a single day of peace. From a stone palace in Macedonia to a golden tomb in Babylon, this is your life. Alexander the Great. 12 levels, 1 destiny. Level 1, the Hungry Prince. Pella, the heart of Macedonia. You are 7. The house smells like iron and horse sweat. Your father, King Philip II, believes in no mercy. Not for enemies, not for sons. While other children play, you train with a heavy sarissa until your arms stop feeling like arms. Your tutor is Aristotle himself. Under olive trees, he teaches you logic, biology, the art of war. He tells you your mind is your sharpest blade. But at night, you look at the mountains and feel something he cannot teach. A hunger with no name. Macedonia is a kingdom. To you, it already feels like a cage. The world outside is waiting for its master.
Level 2, the Taming.
You are 14. Before the entire court stands Bucephalus, a massive black beast. Philip's best riders lie broken in the dirt. Your father waves his hand. Useless. Cast him away. But you see what no one else sees. The horse is afraid of his own shadow. You take the reins. Turn his face toward the sun. The shadow disappears. One leap and you are in the saddle. Philip watches in silence, then walks over. My son, find a kingdom big enough for you. Macedonia is too small. You will spend the rest of your life proving him right.
Level 3, the Heir.
You are 16. Philip rides north to war. He leaves you in charge. The tribes beyond the border see a boy in a crown and begin calculating. They are wrong. You ride before they finish the thought. You don't just defeat them, you erase the city, rebuild it, name it Alexandropolis. Your name cut into stone before you are old enough to shave. When Philip returns, something shifts behind his eyes. He no longer looks at you like a son. He looks at you like a rival. You notice. You say nothing. Level 4, Clash of Shadows. You are 19. A royal wedding. Philip takes a new wife. Her uncle rises drunk and toasts the birth of a legitimate heir, a real Macedonian. The insult lands across the entire room. You throw your cup into his face. Philip draws his sword and charges, but the wine has already reached his legs. He falls face down on the stone floor. You look down at the most powerful king in Greece and say it quietly. Look at this man. He prepares to cross from Europe to Asia, but cannot cross from one couch to another. You walk out into exile. For the first time, you taste something new. Not hunger, hatred. Level 5, Day of the Dagger. 336 BC. You are 20. A festival, music, sunlight on marble. A bodyguard's dagger finds Philip's back in front of the entire court. In one moment, the weight of a nation drops onto your shoulders. Neighbors sharpen swords. Nobles whisper. You give them no time. You appear before Thebes before they can organize. You burn the city and leave standing only one house, the house of the poet Pindar. This is your message. You understand beauty. You will still reduce your enemies to ash without losing a night of sleep. Everyone understands. Level 6, Crossing into Eternity. You are 22. The shore of the Hellespont. 40,000 soldiers. Your father's old debts. A horizon full of Persians. You are the first to leap from the ship. Your spear drives into Asian soil before your boots do. Then you order the ships burned. Your generals watch the smoke rise from the water. Now there is only forward. A man who can retreat will retreat when things get hard enough. You have removed the option. Fear pointed in the right direction is the sharpest weapon you own. Level 7. The Broken Empire. You are 22, then 23, then 24. At the Granicus, a Persian axe comes within a breath of your skull. Clytus cuts down the arm holding it. At Gordium, you stand before a knot no man has untied in centuries. Whoever unties it rules all of Asia. You study it for 10 seconds. Draw your sword, cut straight through it. At Issus, you face Darius himself. You don't ride at his flanks, you ride directly at the man. The great king of Persia turns his chariot and flees, leaving his mother, his wife, his daughters behind. You send word his family will be treated with respect. This is not mercy, it is a message about the kind of enemy you are. Level 8. Son of the Sun. You are 25. Egypt opens its gates without a fight. You cross the western desert to reach the Oracle of Amun at Siwa. Days with almost no water. Your officers beg you to turn back. You keep walking. The priests come out and call you Son of God. Something settles behind your eyes that was not there before. On the Mediterranean shore, you trace a new city in the sand with your own finger. Alexandria. It will outlast your empire, your generals, and the memory of everyone who doubted you. Level 9. Gaugamela. 331 BC. 1,000,000 men. A flat plain chosen so Persian numbers can crush you. Your generals propose a night attack, cut the odds. You listen. Then, I do not steal victories. You sleep so deeply, your officers have to shake you awake as the battle begins. They find this terrifying. You find it logical. A man who cannot sleep before the biggest fight of his life is too frightened to win it. In the chaos, you see a gap in the Persian center. You pull the companions into a wedge and ride directly into it, directly at Darius. He breaks again. The greatest army ever assembled dissolves in an afternoon. Level 10. Beyond the horizon. Babylon falls. Susa falls. Bucephalus burns. You cross the Hindu Kush. You cross the Indus. At the Hydaspes, you fight King Porus and his war elephants in a monsoon flood. The most brutal battle of your life. You win. Barely. Bucephalus dies of his wounds after the crossing. The horse you tamed at 14. You build a city on the riverbank and name it after him. Then you look east, but your men are sitting in the mud and refusing to stand. 8 years without home. You lock yourself in your tent for 3 days. You come out. You turn west. The only retreat you will ever make. Level 11. The Desert of Oblivion. You are 28. The road home runs through the Gedrosian Desert. 2 months of sand and thirst. Soldiers die by the thousands, not from swords, from the ground itself. Someone brings you a helmet with the last drops of water found in a rocky crack. The whole army is watching. You take it, hold it for a moment, then pour it into the sand. You will not drink while your men are dying. You arrive in Babylon alive, but hollow. The appetite has not left. It has grown past the edges of any map that exists. Level 12. The Last Breath. June 323 BC. You are 32. A long feast. Old wine. Old friends. By morning, a fever has its hands around your throat and will not let go. For 10 days, your body fights what your will cannot fix. Your soldiers file past your bed in silence, thousands of them. You cannot lift your hand. But your eyes are still open, still burning. Your generals lean in. To whom do you leave the empire? No son ready, no plan. For the first time in your life, you have no answer prepared. You open your mouth. Kratisto, to the strongest. Then the light goes. You are 32. You never lost a battle. You never stopped, never rested, never had enough. Your generals will divide the empire before your body is cold. But your name will be spoken by kings born 1,000 years from now, in countries you never knew existed. You came from a stone palace in Macedonia. You died in a golden bed in Babylon. And now, you are history.